This is Larry Wilson, you guys. Where do I even start? All right. So most people know him as a drummer. Most people know him as an organist. Some people know him as an MD. Some people know him as a recording engineer. Some people know him as a producer extraordinaire. I mean, the list goes, a composer, arranger, a pioneer. Got it on that. And curator and arranger for his own big band called the Black and Gold Orchestra. Without further ado, Larry Wilson, you guys. Larry, you're originally you went to Florida State, or no, you were in Florida, right? You went to Florida State. Okay,
Florida State.
That's right. And you migrated up here to Atlanta.
Yeah.
What is the scene like up here in Atlanta?
Man, Atlanta is such an amazing city. You know, I've been living here for 6 years, and I have still not yet gotten through the entire scene of talent in the different diasporas. You know, it's jazz, there's gospel, there's R&B, there's pop, there's rock, there's, you know, recording, there's TV and film. There's so much going on in Atlanta, so much talent.
So what do you identify as a musician? I mean, that's hard to ask you that. I know you as a drummer, and then when I was blessed to be called to be part of your project. You could have called any keyboard player.
Man,
but you called me.
That's such a great story.
Yes.
So I got a real quick.
Go ahead, tell the story.
My first gig with Tyrone, I don't think I was in. I had not been in Atlanta maybe for like 2 months, so I wasn't really prepared for Atlanta's traffic. Anyway, so my first gig with Tyrone, I walk on the gig. It's maybe 5 minutes before downbeat or something like that. He's like, "Hey, say, bro, you know, if you're gonna be on my gig, you got to be on time."
Wait, I didn't say that until after I heard you play. I wasn't gonna waste the words. And the first thing I say, "Hey, man, you're killing drummer, bro. But if you're gonna be on my gig, you got to be on time." Okay, I'll get you on.
Within that one gig, I said, "This is one of my favorite piano players I've ever heard in my like." Tyrone just makes you play, and Tyrone plays the piano like it's a drum. He's so rhythmically sophisticated, if you will, that it really brings, as a drummer, it makes you even more creative and more spontaneous and brave.
And when he called me for the record, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know he was a keyboard player as well. So we're in the studio, and I'm playing my part. I had chatted on the stuff. He's just setting up his drum set, whatever, and tweaking it, whatever. He says, "You know, you got to play that left hand part." I said, "Left hand part?" I look at the chart. It's this involved thing. So I'm like saying to myself, "Man, this cat don't know anything about playing for a piano, right? For a piano player." So I'm like, "Man, the bass player is playing a left-hand part. Why do I need to do it?" He comes up from the drums and starts playing it, right? And I'm like, "Who the heck? Who is this guy?" I was like, "I gotta play it now if he can do it." I heard that he played organ at a church, and I went to go check him out one day. Me and my wife came. It was just him and the drummer, and it sounded like a whole orchestra. It was crazy. So do you identify more as a drummer right now, or piano player, a singer, or what?
Well, Tyrone,
producer? What?
It is 2024.
Okay.
I consider myself music fluid.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
My uncle who was, you know, basically my mentor.
Right.
You know, he basically taught me that what you are is a musician.
Right. There's percentages of like, you know, I'm a teacher. So at one time I was like 50% teaching, 50% gigging.
Right on.
Then I was like 20% teaching and gigging. So what percentage of you are you what you are?
It's hard to say. I mean, I guess in my heart, I'm a drummer.
Okay.
My heart of hearts, I'm a drummer. That's how I grew. I started playing drums when I was 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
But I love doing everything that I do equally. I love playing drums. I love playing keys. I love engineering and recording. I love singing. Anything that allows me to be a part of the musical conversation, I love it. I think in order to be an effective leader, you do have to be able to turn around and follow.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just somebody that likes to be in charge, which is not necessarily a leader.
Right.
You know, that's number one. Number two, I'm so grateful to not be in charge sometimes.
Right.
I'm just like, oh man, all I got to do is show up and play.
Dude, that is the biggest thing.
I don't have to think about the artists. I don't have to think about the promoters. I don't have to think about
my part only.
I can think about my part only.
Right.
Man, it's vacation. You know?
Is it hard to do that? because for me, it has been. I'm learning to not solve problems. You know, when I'm not the problem solver.
Right. It does become hard when problems arise not to jump into the driver's seat and try to right the ship, as they say.
I've seen you go fix an entire sound system before, and that wasn't even your thing. You went.
I know.
Yeah, I've seen you do that.
Yeah.
So. Now, aside from all of that, you also run a super successful jam session on Monday nights, starting at 10:30. Is it or
10 o'clock?
10 o'clock. 10 ATL at 10 o'clock.
10 ATL.
Just saw some pictures. The great Robert Glasper came through. His band came through.
Dang, man.
And man, this jam session, you can't describe it. It's indescribable because it's just really, really hip. It's a hip area town. If you don't know about it, it feels like a speakeasy type vibe. You got to know to be there, right?
For sure.
Talk about that a little bit. What goes into that, and how has it been so successful?
And we've had some of everybody come through there. Robert Glasper was just there this week. A few weeks before that, we had Sput, Robert C. Wright, and Ghost Note, and their crew came through and hung out. We've had some of everybody. Stanley Randolph has come through there. Snarky Puppy has come through. I mean, so many people. We owe a lot of that to some of the generals in the city that recommend, like Lil John Roberts is one of the ones that responsible for a lot of the cats that come through there. Celebrities, if you will. It's like they'll call John, like, John, where should we go? Like, go check out 10. And so we owe a lot to cats like Lil John.
Shout out to Lil John too, because he started off with the straight ahead jazz. A lot of people don't know that he played with Quentin and stuff, but he always keeps his stuff sharp. He always comes out to jazz sessions. Check out no matter what he's doing to stay on the scene, man. So it's really cool that he continues to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now talk about your group, your lineup, the house trio.
Yeah, the house band is amazing. And I was gonna say that's another one of the things that's made the jam session what it is the house band, myself on drums, the great Kenny Banks Jr. on piano, who's one of those.
Push that heat on you, bro.
He's
go
one
out
of
there,
those
that heat is on you.
Yes, he's a genius. Yeah. He's a genius.
I love it though. If you're not staying up, and Joel Powell's on bass.
Joel Powell plays bass. Joel and Tommy Sauter.
Right.
They switch because we can go anywhere. We'll straight ahead. Yeah. Or we'll play something with a groove.
Well, brother, tell us what's coming up, and then we're gonna let you do your thing. What do you have coming up?
So we talked about the Black Gold Orchestra, which is my big band. We're gonna do St. James Live on June 27th, and then the reschedule of the Gainesville Jazz Festival is happening on the 29th in Gainesville, Georgia. And we're really excited about that. I do have a jazz record label that I just launched last year. Kenny Banks Jr. is an artist. Michael Cruz is an artist on the label. Myself, of course, Black Gold Orchestra, we're all on the label. And a lot of things coming out there. We're getting ready to release an entire record with Kenny Banks Jr. on his arrangements. Some of the jazz standards that we normally play at 10 ATL. And it's really incredible. I'm really excited for you guys to hear that. I'm getting ready to record my next jazz album, which if I can afford Tyrone, maybe he'll play a couple songs. Yeah. A lot of shirts and Kango hats in the budget that we have to pay for.
I'm taking them, bro. You know that.
Yeah.
I already know, bro. Man, mushroom belt.
That's right. You got to have it.
Man. Come on.
His right.
Well, man, thank you for coming out, bro. Thanks for being part of the podcast and supporting
this is such a great podcast. I try to catch it every week. You guys engage in some great discussions, and it kind of elevates us all, man, as a community. So I'm really, really grateful to be a part and grateful to know you two.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate you, man. All right, that's Larry Wilson, everybody.